Dear students, see last time in lesson number 7, that is system of particle and rotational motion, we completed all theory part. We saw some of the examples. Now lastly we discussed principle of lever. Okay. Now today we start with some example based on the principle of lever. Okay. First is example number 7.8. Okay. Now here we'll take the help of principle of lever and see the rotational equilibrium. Now see a rod of 70 centimeter length. Here let us say AB length is 70 centimeter. Now see the fulcrum, midpoint is the fulcrum. Okay. Now see two knife edge support. Let us say here K1 and K2. Okay, which are at a distance of 10 centimeter. Let us say AK1 and BK2 is 10 centimeter. Now this is 10. This is how much? 35 R, because see the fulcrum will be at the midpoint. So this total distance AG will be 35 centimeter. AG and GB. Okay. Now see a mass of 6 kg is supported at 30 centimeter from the one end. Let us say mass of 6 kg. Okay, that is supported at the 30 centimeter from the one end. Okay, let us say we call as a point P, and the weight of this we call as a W1. Okay, weight of that we call as W1. So W1 will be 6 into G, 6 into 9.8. Okay, and see the total mass of AB is 4 kg. So which is assumed to be concentrated on the center of mass, that is G point. So this will be W I am calling. See, this will be 4G. That is 4 into 9.8. Okay. Now see what you have to calculate reaction at the knife edges. Let us say K1 and K2 are. Okay. Now AK1 is 10 centimeter each. Okay. Now AG and GB (35 centimeter). Okay, and AP is 30 centimeter. Okay. Now this will be 0.1 meter, 0.35 meter, 0.30. Okay. Now again, see AB length is 70 centimeter. Okay. K1 and K2 are the knife edge support, which is a distance of 10 centimeter from the both end. Now we know the center of mass or the center of gravity at the midpoint. See, mass is 4, so weight will be 4 into G, that is 9.8. Now see, K1 and K2 are the knife edges. See, we have to find out the reaction. Let us say R1 and R2 are the reaction. Okay, R1 and R2 are reaction at K1 and K2 respectively. Okay, so this is the data we have to use. Now first we consider linear equilibrium. So see, we can say this is again the origin. Upward force we have to consider positive, and downward force we have to consider. See, R1 and R2 are the reaction that are forces only. So upward forces are R1 plus R2. See, minus 6G minus 4G is 0. Okay. Now 6 plus 4 is 10 into 9.8 is 91. So R1 plus R2. Okay, so this is the first equation we are having. This is the first equation we are having. Now we have to consider the rotational equilibrium. So in that case we have to calculate torque. Okay, in that case we have to calculate torque about point G. Okay, now see, in the language of the physics we say taking moment about point G, that is calculating torque. Okay, now see, let us say this is our fulcrum. See, this R1 will take it to the clockwise direction. See, the clockwise direction we have to consider negative. Clockwise torque and anti-clockwise now these are the convention we have to accept in calculating. Now see, what will be the distance of R1? What is the distance of R1 from G? See, total length AG is how much? 35 centimeter. AK1 is 10 centimeter. So K1G will be 21. So K1G will be 35 minus 10 will be 25 centimeter. That is 0.5 meter. So now what we have considered? See, the clockwise torque. Okay, now this is our fulcrum. R1 will tend to move in the clockwise direction. See, that we consider negative. So it will be minus R1 into 0.25. Okay, minus R1 into 25. Now see, the moment of W, that is 4G, about G will be 0. Why? Because perpendicular distance is 0. Now see, this W1 will tend to move in the anti-clockwise direction, minus 6 into 9.8. Now what is the distance of W1? See, it is 5 centimeter. Okay, now this we have to consider positive, 0.05. Okay, now see, what about R2? Okay, that also will be anti-clockwise direction. Okay, R2 will be also anti-clockwise direction, that is R2. Now what is the distance of R2 from G? It is 25 centimeter. See, that is 0.25. Okay, and see, it is a rotational equilibrium. Okay, that is R2 into 0.25 is 0. Okay, so if we solve this, okay, minus R1, R2 minus R1 plus 11.76 is 0. Okay, so that is R1 minus R2. Okay, R1 minus R2 is. Okay, now initially when we consider the linear equilibrium, okay, we talk R1 plus R2 is 98. Now R1 minus R2. Okay, now see, this is nothing but linear equation in two variable. Okay, you can solve by elimination method also. So R1 will get 54 and R2, okay, will get as 43.12. Okay, now this is a very important sum. See what we have done. First we consider the translational equilibrium. See, the upward force we consider positive and downward force we consider negative. So R1 plus R2. See, 6G and 4G, that is 10G is downward force. So R1 plus R2, 10 into 9.8 is 98. We make the first equation. Then we calculated torque about point G. Okay, that is moment about point G. See what we consider. See, the clockwise torque we consider negative and anti-clockwise torque we consider positive. So R1 into what is the perpendicular distance of G from K1, that was 25 centimeter. See, then R2 also 25 centimeter, both will be in opposite direction. Now see, G is our fulcrum. See, W1 will take it to the anti-clockwise direction that we consider positive. Okay, so this is how we can solve and find out the value of reaction R1 and R2. Okay, so that is about example number 7.8. Now we proceed further. See that next is example number 7.9. Now see, next is our example 7.9. Now see, a ladder AB is resting, okay, near the wall in such a way one end is another floor at a distance of 1 meter. Okay, length of the ladder is AB is 3 meter. See, the weight of the mass of the ladder is 20. See, the mass we consider to be concentrated on the center of mass. Okay, so weight will be 20 into 9 is 9.6. See, what you have to find out the reaction of floor and the wall. Okay, now see the reaction of the wall, let us say F1, okay, and reaction of the floor we call as W. Okay, now see this F2 is made up of two parts. One is a normal reaction, okay, and one is a horizontal force. Okay, now first we consider translational equilibrium. Consider okay, now see this F2 is made up of two things, F and N. Okay, now see F1 and F are in mutually opposite direction, so we can say F1 minus F is 0, that is F1 is F. Okay, now see these are the horizontal forces we have considered. Okay, now see here these are the horizontal forces. Now the vertical forces, see the weight of the ladder will be in the downward direction, okay, minus, see the normal reaction of the one end of the ladder will, let us say, N. So our first equation, see F1 and F are in the opposite direction. Okay, now see this weight of the ladder in downward direction minus N, normal reaction is also considered to be 0. Okay, so weight we consider as 196 minus N is 0, so N has become 196. Okay, that is normal reaction. So that value is 1, 2 available. Now see, we have to take moment about point A. Now what we can see, see three forces, let us say F1, N, and the resultant of F and N passes to the point A. So the perpendicular distance of that all three forces about point A is 0. Now okay, we say taking moment about point A, that is calculating so by terminology, when we calculate torque, we write like this, taking moment about point A. Okay, so that will be following. Now see W1. Okay, now this is a fulcrum. See, W will try to move it in the clockwise direction. See, the clockwise direction we consider negative. So W, that is 196. Okay, perpendicular distance 0.5. Okay, now clockwise torque we consider negative. Now see this F1, see this is a force F1. We have to calculate moment about point A. Now what is the perpendicular distance of F1 from line of action of F1 from A? See, we can see it will be equal to the height of the wall, that is given as 2√2 meter. Okay, so we can write plus F1 into 2√2 is equal to 0. Again, see, we are talking about the translational equilibrium. Okay, so F1 we can calculate as 196 into 0.5 upon 2 root 2. Okay, F1 we can, now if I solve this, we will get 34.6 Newton. Okay, now see, this F1 is the reaction of the wall. F1 is the reaction of the wall. Now see, the reaction of floor, that is F2 is made up of two things. Okay, that is F square plus N square. But what we see here, what we have seen here, F and F1 are equal. Okay, and we have already obtained. Okay, so this reaction F is equal to, we can say, N square plus F square. Okay, now see, the normal reaction we obtain as 196. Now F we have obtained just now is F1, so that is 34.6. Okay, and if you solve this, we'll get about 190. Okay, so this is how we can calculate. See, this F2 is a reaction of the floor and F1 is the reaction of the wall. So this is how we can calculate value required. So this is about these are the two examples in which we have used basically, see, the principle of lever and how to calculate torque about the given point. So this is about example number 7.9. Now some of the examples we have done earlier. Now we see, starting from the first example, let us check how many we have done. See, example 7.1 we have done. Okay, now see the example. See, this is regarding the center of mass. Okay, now see, is a lamina. Okay, which is made up of squares. See, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now L-shaped lamina. Okay, what is a lamina? See, is a okay, object where the thickness is very less compared to dimension. You can say a small disc. Okay, okay, a small plate, a very thin plate. Okay, okay, that is called lamina. What we assume, see, the thickness of this L-shaped plate is very less compared to the dimension. Now see, the coordinate are 0, 0 and 2, 0. Okay, and here it is 0. So each of the length 1 meter. Okay, each of the length 1 meter. See, we have to find out the center of mass. Okay, now see, this is a two-dimensional object, x and y. It is lying in the xy plane. So the center of mass will have x and y coordinate. Now see, made up of two coordinates, x and y. So x will be m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3, m1 plus m2 plus m2. Now see a square plate lamina. A square center of mass will be at the distance of L by 2 and y coordinate also will be L by 2. You can say L by 2 like this. Now see, each total mass is 3 kg. So mass of total mass 3 kg. So each square plate mass will be 1 kg. Okay, so m1 is 1. Now what is the x coordinate? See, this will be 1 by 2. m2 also 1. See, for the x2 coordinate will be 1 by 2 after this 1, so it will be 3 by 2. Okay. Now see, the third plate, center of mass will be here. See, what will be the distance here? See, this is our origin, so this distance also will be 1 by 2. now m1 plus m2. Okay, now let me explain again. See, mass is 1 kg. See, this coordinate, x coordinate will be how much? See, the total length is 1, so it will be 1 by 2. Now, see, for the second plate, it will be 1 plus 1 by 2, that will make 3 by 2. And for the third plate, see again from the origin, see the coordinate will be at 1 by 2 distance, meter distance. So, this will x3 is 1 by 2. So, if we substitute and solve this, we'll get 5 upon 18. Okay, we'll get 5 upon 6. Okay, so this is about the x coordinate for the center of mass of a lamina. Now see for the y coordinate, it will be m1 y1 plus m2 y2. Okay, now see m1 is 1. What is the y coordinate? It will be 1 by 2. Okay, m2 also 1 kg. See, the y coordinate will be similar to first plate, that will be 1 by 2. Third plate is also mass is 1 kg. Now, see here the y coordinate, see this is 1 meter plus 1 by 2 distance. So, it will be 1 into 3 by 2 upon 1 plus. Okay, now m1 is 1 kg, m2 is 1 kg, m3 is also 1 kg. So, if we solve, okay, we'll get 5 upon 6 meter. Now, this is a symmetric plate of the uniform density. Okay, so this is how we can obtain center of mass, x and y coordinate of the center of mass. See, this is a lamina, that is thickness is very less compared to dimension. This is how we can obtain the coordinate of center of mass. Now next is example number 7.4. See, we have to find out the dot product or scalar product and cross product. First, A dot B. Now this will be AX, AY, AZ, BX, BY, BZ. So scalar product is AX, AY. Okay, so we can write 3 into minus 2 plus minus 4 into 1. See, minus 6 minus 4 minus 15. See, this scalar product we get minus 25. Now see the cross product or okay. Now see vector product. We can write A cross B, I, J and K. Okay. Now see what are the coordinates 3, minus 4 and 5. Minus 2, 1 and minus 3. Now see the coefficient of I caret. See, we take right diagonal minus left diagonal. Okay. So that will be minus 4 into minus 3 is 12 minus 5. Minus J caret. See, right diagonal minus 9. See, here it is minus 10, but minus minus will be plus. K caret again. See the right diagonal, that is 3. This will again positive, so minus 8. Okay. So this if I solve 7I, see will be 1 minus 3 and minus 5. Okay. So K caret coordinate will be 3 minus 8. Okay, it will be minus 5K. A cross B we have to find out. Yes, see 3 minus 4 and 5 minus 2, 1 and minus 3. Okay, this is A cross B. Now suppose we have to find out B cross A. Now A cross B is B cross A, so it will be minus 7I plus J plus 5. Okay, so this is how we can find out the scalar product and vector product. Okay, see that is nothing but our example number 7.4. Now see next is our example number 7.5. See the torque acting on the particle which has a position vector of I minus J plus K caret. See the force acting is 7I plus 3J minus 5K. See See, we have to calculate torque. Now torque is nothing but, see the vector product, that is R cross F. So we can find out R is 1, I, J, K we can write. So what are the coefficient? 1, minus 1 and 1. Okay, F is 7, 3 and minus 5. Okay, now if we simplify I caret, see the right diagonal minus left diagonal. So minus 5 into minus 1 is 5. See minus 3. So it will be 5 minus 3. Minus J caret. Okay. Now again we have to consider right diagonal minus 5 minus 7. K caret. Okay. So it will be 3 and see here negative 7, but see if I subtract, so minus minus will become plus. Okay, so it will be 2i minus 12, that will make plus 12j caret plus 10. Okay, now this is how we can calculate the torque acting on a particle which has a position vector r and f. Now next is our example number 7.6. Okay, now show that the angular momentum of a single particle moving with constant velocity Now see the angular momentum of particle we have discussed, r cross p. Now we know the linear momentum is given. Now let us say see a particle moves with a constant velocity along this line. Now O is our origin. Okay. Now let us say R is a position vector. Okay. Now see the V is the velocity. P is equal to mv. Let us say this angle is theta. Now see this is our origin. Let us say if I drop a perpendicular distance at m. Okay. Now see the angle between position vector r and p is given as theta. Now what we can consider is the vertically opposite angle are equal. Now see here, let us say how to calculate. These are two we can consider parallel lines since OM is a perpendicular distance. Okay. Now whatever may be the position of the particle, okay, whatever may be the position of the particle, see it is r cross p, rp sin theta. Okay, we can write p is equal to p into r sin theta. Now see throughout the motion, okay, throughout the motion, okay, this r sin theta will remain constant. Okay, r sin theta remain constant. Why? Because see this is a perpendicular distance. Okay, this is a perpendicular distance. So the perpendicular distance throughout the motion of the particle, okay, will remain constant. That's why see the mass and velocity are going to remain constant. Why? Because we know the p is equal to mv. Mass will remain same. See the particle moves with a constant velocity. See p is already constant. R sin theta throughout the motion will remain constant. That's why the angular momentum of the particle moving with a constant velocity will remain constant. So this is nothing but example number 7.6. Now next we have to see example number 7.50. Okay. Now see a cord of negligible mass. Now let us say flywheel, that is a disc. Okay. Now string a wound like this, so it will rotate. R is the radius, is 20 centimeter. Mass is 20 kg. Okay. Now see the mountain on a horizontal axle. Now let us say this is a point about which this by pulling the rod, okay, the fly will move. Now force of 25 Newton is applied. What we can see, the force is applied tangent. Okay, so what you have to calculate the angular acceleration. Okay, first we calculate the moment of inertia of a flywheel. That is, this moment of inertia is mr square by 2. Mass is how much given as 20 kg. Radius is 20 centimeter. That is 0.2 meter. Okay, we can calculate I is equal to mr square by 2, that will be 0.4. Now, see, first we have to calculate torque. Torque is equal to R cross F. Now see here the force is acting tangential. That will be RF sin 90. R is 0.2. Force is how much? 25. Okay, so this will be 5 Newton meter. Okay, torque will be 5 Newton meter. Now, see, we have to calculate angular acceleration. See, torque is equal to I alpha. Torque we have calculated as 5. I is 0.4 alpha. So 5 upon 0.4. Okay. So that will give the value of 12.5. Okay. Alpha is the angular acceleration. So it will be radian per second square. Okay. Now, see the work done by the torque. Okay. Work done by the torque. Now see the question says it is displaced by 2 meter when cord is unwound by 2 meter, that is displacement is 2 meter, force is 25 Newton, work done is force into displacement 25 into 2 is 30 Joule. Okay, this is the first part. Now secondly we have to find out rotational kinetic energy. Okay, now see the rotational kinetic energy is 1 by 2 I omega square. Okay, initially it was the flywheel was raised to omega 0, we can consider 0. Now see we have to calculate omega square. Now see theta is the angular displacement. Okay, now we use the formula L is equal to R theta, so theta will be L upon R. Yeah, theta is the angular displacement. Okay, now radius, length is 2 meter. Okay, now radius is 0.2. Okay, that will be 10 radian. Okay, now second is a, see theta is omega square minus omega square upon 2 alpha. Here omega 0 is 0. Omega square is equal to 2 alpha theta. See angular acceleration we have obtained is 12.5. Theta we have obtained is 10. Okay, so this will be 250. Okay, this will be 250. Now see the rotational kinetic energy is 1 by 2 I omega square. See omega square we have obtained. Okay, omega square we have obtained. I we have obtained 0.4. We have already directly obtained the value of omega square. So in that case we can obtain the rotational kinetic energy is 50 Joule. See what we can see, that is equal to the work done. Okay, that is equal to work done. So we see the question again. The radius of a flywheel is 20 centimeter, mass is 20 kg. See the force applied is 50 Newton by cord. See the cord is displaced by 2 meter. See the desired quantity, required quantity we have to calculate. So first we have obtained the moment of inertia, then we calculate torque is equal to R cross F. Also we use the torque is equal to I alpha, that gives us the value of angular acceleration. Now see work done by the force. See the cord was unwound by 2 meter, so work done is force into displacement, that we calculate. Then we calculate angular displacement by using the formula L is equal to R theta, that gives the value of theta. Now see the kinematic equation of angular acceleration, motion with the rotational motion with the angular acceleration. See theta is equal to omega square minus alpha. See, we had theta and alpha both, so we obtained omega square, and finally we obtained the value of the rotational kinetic energy, that is 50 joule. See, that is also we saw that is equal to 1. So this is about the example number 7.15. Now today we have seen the examples of lesson number 7. See, next time we'll continue with that and we'll move to the exercise numerical now, lesson number 7. Thank you.